Hi, I'm James Waldinger, the founder and CEO of Artivest.
And I'm David Levine, the Chief Investment Officer. And like many of you, we and our team are building a better way to invest.
Our team hails from the private investing world, like hedge funds, venture capital, and private equity. I'm coming off of Peter Thiel's investing team at Clarion Capital, and David was on John Paulson's team at Paulson & Company. We have folks coming from Goldman Sachs, Bridgewater, King Street, et cetera. And we're lucky enough to be backed by some awesome investors like Peter Thiel, RRE Ventures, Nellie Levshin, Joe Lonsdale, all of whom are excited about the vision for what we're building. When we were working in our private funds, we found massive inefficiencies in the way that fund managers raise capital and manage relationships with their investors. So we thought we could try and fix that. Every other industry in the world is moving from an analog space to a digital space, but somehow private investing seems stuck in the Stone Age, and that's where we come in. We think it's time to shift it, especially in a regulatory regime that's opening up our industry. Our approach is threefold. First, what we do is we curate the experience for investors, and we'll talk a lot more about that. Second, we innovate using current technologies to provide new processes and workflows. And third, we create a win-win-win for every part of the equation, including investors, financial advisors, and fund managers. Right now, we're in a private mode, but we did recently announce that we just closed our first access fund into KKR's private equity firm. Individual investors using Artivest, like yourselves, were able to invest for the very first time entirely online in a private equity fund at minimums that were a fraction of the cost of what KKR usually charges. Again, we're private right now. We're not offering any investment opportunities today, but we wanted to show you a glimpse of what we're offering. Curation for us is more than just a buzzword, and it starts with fund selection. We find that there's an open marketplace approach oftentimes out there with a lack of pre-screening. But private fund investing can be really opaque and hard to navigate for investors. So we take an institutional grade approach to investing in private funds. We do extensive diligence on each fund, and we choose only the funds that we at Artivest are willing to stand behind. On our platform, you'll see a range of funds from big brand names like KKR all the way through to rising stars, emerging managers that we've selected.
So this is where curation gets translated into experience. We distill down all of the diligence that we do into what really matters. Here you'll see the key metrics for an illustrative fund that we cleverly called Example Fund. And you'll see things like performance. What does it invest in? And why we chose it. In this particular case, it's a $1 billion energy fund, and we think it provides diversification to your portfolio. Next, we dig a little deeper into the fund strategy. In addition to some insights about what we think about the fund, we also distill down thousands of pages of documents, working closely with legal and design to create infographics that are just easy to understand. The entire process is just much easier than the current analog way of investing.
The markets page is where we provide context on the market that a given fund invests in. Our investors really appreciate that we don't send them running all over the internet to learn about a given industry when we provide a fund that invests in that industry. If we double click here, let's say we're offering an energy fund. Our investment team takes our own proprietary research to offer what matters. In this case, we talk about fracking, the shale revolution, why the US is now the largest energy provider in the world. Our investors can get the information they want easily and decide if they need to learn more. Next, we're going to the library page. It's not all that sexy to talk about legal documents, but we think it's important to provide investors with an easy and clean solution. You'll see here we use a given fund's private placement memo, the subscription documents, a limited partnership agreement, et cetera. And we explain pretty quickly what each of these documents are to enable our fund investors to decide how far they want to dig. We also find that the fund partners appreciate the level of security here. Each document is watermarked to each investor that downloads it, so you know exactly who accessed what and when. In particular, we find that our fund partners' compliance and legal team appreciates that, and we do too because David and I are actually both lawyers.
But of course, it's just the beginning. When you decide to invest with Artivest, you go through a streamlined investment process. There's no analog methods of fax machines or notaries. All you need is your smartphone. But investing in private equity is much more complicated than investing in stocks and bonds. So we distill down things like the capital call schedule and fees into a one-stop dashboard. We replace investor relations and paperwork with an easy-to-use one-stop place for our member relations team to work with each of our investors. But that's just a small part of the Artivest experience. In addition, we have events, we have online symposiums, and at each step of the way, we create a curated experience. We work with our fund partners to make the entire process of investing in private funds natural.
So that's what it looks like. We're finding that behaviors are already changing. Investors and fund managers want to evolve. All we're doing is enabling that evolution. We're not asking anyone to do anything all that new. We're just using existing technology to create easier methods to get access to great fund opportunities for investors and fund managers alike. And again, we do it in three ways. We curate the experience for the investor end to end to make it easy. We make a process and a workflow that fund managers and financial advisors appreciate, and we do it in a way that benefits the whole industry. We really like talking to like-minded individuals who want to help us pioneer this new way to invest, which is why we're thrilled to be here at Finovate, and we hope that you will come talk to us, and we hope you enjoy your lunch. Thank you.